So this is the neighborhood you grew up in?
Yeah, it's called Libertad, which is Spanish for freedom. And it's one of the first neighborhoods that were founded in Tijuana.
Local crime reporter Ines Garcia Ramos has seen the city change dramatically over the years.
So what's up, everybody? So I've been busy this morning, and I've been making some mistakes on my channel. I shot 2 videos yesterday. I even got the drone out. I don't know, maybe you can see it over here. This guy. I've been doing lots of stuff, and I didn't, I made and edited a whole bunch of stuff. I was going over Natasha Gutierrez's Australian Broadcasting Corporation story to where a Filipina, Natasha Gutierrez, can go to Australia. So from Asia to Australia, all the way over the United States, and they can get access to the president, Mexican president, Gloria Sheinbaum, and they can get access to be in the back of a municipal police truck and access to the Mexican military. But you have Ed and everybody else completely missed the mark with any of that. And so I was watching this, and I've got some clips. I'll throw it in here. I'm not going to do a great big video. But it's crazy to me how this major international news corporation didn't call up Ed Calderon or Gafe 423. And I figured out what I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing wrong on my channel is that I am sitting here trying to get to become a part of a community that's already established where these people make money off of their little security, non-permissive environment specialist garbage. It is garbage. It makes me want to puke. Years of stuff. I've thought for years that Ed, because I put out a Facebook page. I had a Facebook page when I became an agent in Mexico. And I used to put stuff out, and then way before Ed. This is back in 2012. And which is why I even started squawking Ed when he first came out to begin with, because I couldn't believe him. I'm like, whoa, really? And I wanted to talk to him and be like, whoa, hey, where are you working? Dude's got none of these pictures of him in a truck with anything the same that I got put out. None of that stuff. And so this Natasha Gutierrez, when she goes over, she's talking to the Policía Municipal de Nogales. She's talking to the Army. She's talking to Gloria Sheinbaum, the president. You know who she's not talking to? Katarina Schultz. She's not talking to you. She's not talking to Ed Calderon. She's not talking to Gafe 423. She's not talking to Sean Ryan or any of these other people. She's over there talking to the people that actually know what it is because they work it. She's talking to Mexican reporters by the name of Ines Garcia Ramos that worked for Zeta and now works for Punto Norte. So I get to thinking, I'm like, hey, Dave, these people, clearly they don't like you. I gave my phone number to Gafe almost 2 weeks ago. Nothing. It's not ringing. Not on this phone. Not on this one either. Emails, 0. Well, got an email. He wanted a response. They wanted my personal information, but they don't want to talk to me. And I can prove that I am who I say I am. I'm like, hey, whoa, man. Dave, is you ugly? I mean, not a handsome guy, not good to hang out with him. No muscles. You know, Ed, you're a fucking clown. I don't like cussing, but you are. You are, Gafe, all you guys. You sit there and try to get these Americans to buy into your stuff. And I don't have a problem with people making a living, but I do have a problem with people fabricating and inventing stuff, which is something that I don't do. My wife told me the other day, she's like, the problem with you, Dave, is that you're too black or you're too white. That I don't negotiate. And I have to be that way because I've been less than stellar in my own life. I'll admit it. I openly admit it. In fact, the moment I gained the ability to blame myself for everything that goes on in my life is the moment I became empowered. And that came to me through a couple ways. One of the ways it came to me is through Malcolm X. You have to be a man of principle. Your principles don't bend for anyone, especially you. Which means that when I want to be truthful, I have to. And I've been less than perfect. But When I make a problem, or when I have a problem in my life or I make a mistake, it's incumbent upon me to break off of the wrong trail, straighten course, and then continue and carry on, which is what I got to do. And I do it all the time. I still do it to this day. No one's ever going to be perfect. So there's not a problem with having, even if you flat out lied, admit it. Yeah, I lied, own up to it, and then carry on. This Natasha Gutierrez, she does a great job of going to Mexico and finding out exactly what Mexican reporters pay for in blood, all of the data that they get. So I figured out what I got to do. I have to stop hitting up Joe Rogan. I have to stop hitting up Sean Ryan, Taylor Kavanaugh, Mike Ritlin, or any of the other Navy SEAL guys, the Ed Calderones, the Fernando Puente Cartel connection, Johnny Mitchell, Julian Dory, or any of these other people, because they're all one big community. None of them want to talk to me. Yesterday, I had 100 subscribers, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you for paying attention to me, because I also put that flag on my uniform. And unlike Ed Calderon, I've got various pictures of it, and even have interviewed one of my brothers on here. I can interview some more. I figured out how I have to go about telling my story and what I want the story to be told, because what I don't want is, I don't want millions of people listening to Sean Ryan, Ed Calderon, and all these other people like they are the sole source of the truth. I'm not even the source of the truth, because I'm not actively working in it right this second. You know who is, though? Mexican reporters that speak English. And I'm going to stick a couple clips in here from their deal. Mexican reporters that make $8,000 or 8,000 pesos a month. Mexican police agents and military at municipal, state, federal levels, both civil and military. Well, the military obviously isn't a state or a municipal level, but you get what I'm saying. This isn't rocket science, man. So when you have people that can come all the way from Asia, jump over to Australia, and then go over to the United States, which is 3 continents, get it more correct than someone that is an international cartel expert in Katarina Schultz that's been doing this less than 2 years. And you've got Inez Garcia Ramos that's been doing this more than 10. But one of them is being sold to you as a cartel expert and the other one's not. None of them looked up Ed Calderon or Gafe 423 Jonathan Campos. Neither of whom will give you their maternal last names because of security. But a female reporter in Tijuana that's in one of the most dangerous cities in the world, which it is, can put out her face, her name, no balaclava, no pasamontaña, her first name or last name, and her maternal last name, like it's nobody's business, and be working exactly in that theme or that field. You know, you really got to sit there and wonder what you're being sold on American YouTube channels. And yes, I am talking shit. I've been doing this for a year. I've been calling out Ed for almost 10 years. In fact, that's why I'm not a member of the Dog Brothers tribe anymore, is because I flat out question how the guiding force of the Dog Brothers is going to vet somebody when he doesn't even work for a government agency himself. And the guy that he's vetting works for a Mexican agency, or says that he does. I've got 2 pictures of me that I'm going to put in here where I'm sitting next to 2 different Mexican governors or senators, where I'm out at work with them, guarding them or doing other stuff. And then Ed says that he won't wear a suit. He just said that in an interview the other day that I saw. He refuses to wear a suit because he spent 3 years guarding the governor of Baja California. Hey, Ed, I dare you, double dog dare you, dog, to post a single picture, even one, of you on Governor Osuna's security detail, other than the one that you got in your cheap suit, or post a single picture of you out on patrol in 7 years. You've been doing this 10 years, you say? Jumping back and forth between both countries doing knife seminars. I never got that type of leave when I was working. Maybe you did. I don't know, man. Navy SEALs all think you're a clown. You won't say what Master Chief signed off on your jump certificate. You know, it's just layer upon layer upon layer of BS. And then you got Americans that think they're about that life, but won't actually go and sign up and confront drug cartels in person the way that I did, or the ones that have signed up for the American military or American law enforcement agencies at a federal level to go out after these guys. You have all these other people that want to attach themselves to something dangerous, the way that people go out and try to do cadre pseudo Green Beret training, man. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Masculinity is an important thing, and it's important that we all become men. That I wholly support. What I don't support is signing off on something that's inauthentic, right? Something that's not genuine. And then you have a bunch of people running around thinking they're John Wick, including local law enforcement oftentimes. You know, I hate to say it, and God rest their souls, but those kids in Uvalde sit there, and I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback. I'm just going to say I'm a results-orientated guy. There's a bunch of kids that are dead, and people sat around in that hall for an hour. But then you'll see these same people run out, snatch some unarmed person out of a car that's sleeping in a parking lot at night and beat the snot out of them, or punching people through the... As a man, I'm not even going to tell you how to feel about that. You can tell yourself how you feel about it. I know how I feel about it. So when you see these grifters posting all this stuff on YouTube, bear that in mind, that there are English-speaking Mexican news reporters that don't have Pocho Spanish, that speak perfect Spanish. This Inez Garcia Ramos was born in East LA, born in East LA, but grew up in Tijuana. But her Spanish and her English isn't as good as Ed's. There's so much suspicious about Ed. So I'm going to put a couple clips of that lady in here, and then when people are wondering why we're listening to Canadian cartel experts on Sean Ryan, they've barely got a year or two out of school and barely have been in Mexico on a tourist visa, having some nail salon attendant validate their stories, or Ed having some dog groomer write stuff about them on Twitter. And then they're being sold to premier law enforcement agencies in the United States at a federal level like they're some type of training guru. Ed, I will still pay you $1,000 if you'll even do an interview with me. Just one interview. But you won't do it. You'll never do it, and I figured that out. Gafe, the same thing to you. You guys won't do it. Or Katerina or Vincent Vargas. You guys won't do it because I'm going to make you look stupid and you're going to lose money as a result. If you think I'm lying or bullshitting, Kat, put up some pictures of you actually interviewing some actual Mexican authority that are going out getting cartel. Ed, same shit. Put up some posts or some pictures of you in the back of a truck on patrol for the first 7 years that you said you were doing stuff. Armed with you said you had a grenade launcher. There's so much stuff that's just come out of your mouth. Or either one of you two, Campos or you, Calderon, put out your maternal last name so we can see how it is that a doctor decides to become a lowly police officer, which would never happen. So, you know, I've got enough to say for the day. I'm going to stick a couple snippets of that in there so you can see. And then we'll just, I don't know, we'll see where this goes. I've already written some very interesting emails this morning, made some phone calls to Mexico, see what happens, and we'll just see where this goes. Cheers, man.